Japan is often portrayed as the perfect country, a place of beautiful cities and colorful streets, bright lights, neon signs, busy crossings, a country known for anime, iconic characters, and a culture that has traveled the world. To the rest of us, it looks like a dream. But this image didn't appear by accident. It was built carefully, slowly, with discipline. This is one of the most powerful nations on Earth, the third largest economy in the world, a global powerhouse, a country built on success, order, and control. But perfection is not peace. It is pressure, quiet, constant, everywhere. Pressure woven into everyday life, into school, into work, into who you are expected to be. In a country this powerful, this advanced, this admired, failure is not loud. It is quiet, hidden, and often faced alone. And beneath the bright lights and beautiful cities lies something rarely seen. The dark side of Japan. Before Japan was known for cute characters and beautiful cities, it was known for something else: power and strength. In the early 20th century, Japan was not a peaceful nation. It was an imperial power driven by military rule, nationalism, and the belief that strength justified control. Japan invaded neighboring countries, most notably China. Cities were taken, lives were destroyed, and some of the darkest war crimes in modern history were committed. Millions suffered under Imperial Japan's rule. Civilians, prisoners, entire populations. As the war continued, Japan began to lose ground. Resources were stretched thin, cities were heavily bombed, and the empire that once expanded outward started collapsing inward. In 1945, the war reached its breaking point. Two cities were erased from the map: Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The atomic bombings shocked the world, forced Japan to surrender, and ended the war. The empire collapsed almost overnight. For the first time, Japan was forced to confront failure on a national scale. Not just military defeat, but the collapse of an entire way of thinking. After the war, everything changed. The military was stripped of power, the emperor became a symbol instead of a ruler, and Japan was rebuilt under a new identity. No longer an empire, no longer a conqueror, Japan turned to itself. Instead of military strength, the country focused on work, discipline, and rebuilding through effort rather than force. Factories replaced battlefields, companies replaced armies, and loyalty shifted from empire to employer. What followed was one of the most dramatic transformations in modern history. Japan rebuilt its economy from ruins, became a leader in technology, manufacturing, and innovation, cars, electronics, infrastructure, and within a few decades rose to become one of the most powerful economies on Earth. But image mattered too. Unlike Germany, which openly teaches its past in schools, museums, and public memory to ensure it is never repeated, Japan took a different path. War crimes were rarely discussed in education. Textbooks softened or removed key events, and public acknowledgement faded with time. For many inside Japan, these atrocities were never fully explained, and for many outside Japan, they were never mentioned at all. Instead of confronting the past directly, Japan focused forward on rebuilding, productivity, and creating a new image. An image of peace, beauty, and creativity. Anime, beautiful cities, and culture replaced memories of war. Over time, that image worked. The world stopped seeing Japan as a former empire and started seeing it as a peaceful, creative nation. And in many ways, that transformation was real. Japan became safer, more stable, and more admired. But the mindset that rebuilt the country, discipline, endurance, sacrifice, never disappeared. It simply changed form. But that way of thinking would come to haunt them. After the war, Japan rebuilt itself on one simple promise: never fall behind again. Success became survival, and work became duty. The country moved fast. Factories ran day and night, cities grew upward, and loyalty was no longer sworn to an empire, but to the company. In Japan, work was not just a job, it was identity. Long hours were expected, overtime was rarely questioned, and leaving before your boss was seen as shameful. Sacrifice was praised, endurance was respected, and exhaustion became normal. The system worked, at first. Japan's economy exploded. Manufacturing, technology, and infrastructure placed the country among the world's elite. Efficiency became legendary, productivity became national pride, and success became proof that the transformation had been worth it. But there was a cost. As pressure increased, rest disappeared. Vacations went unused, sleep was cut short, and personal life slowly faded. People didn't complain, they endured. They didn't quit, they stayed. Because in a society built on discipline, failure was something to hide. Then a word entered the language: karoshi, death from overwork, heart attacks, strokes, and people being unalive from extreme pressure. All linked not to war, but to work. People collapsing at their desks, on trains, in offices that never truly closed, not because they were weak, but because they were loyal. Mental health suffered in silence. Asking for help was seen as burdening others. Admitting stress felt like admitting failure. So people smiled, bowed, and kept going. The pressure that once rebuilt a nation was now breaking individuals. But that is not the whole story. Japan also built something remarkable. It built some of the safest cities in the world. Streets where people walk freely at night. Communities where crime is low and public trust is high. It built systems that work. Trains that run with precision, infrastructure that lasts, cities designed for millions to live together peacefully. Japan created technology that shaped the modern world. Cars known for reliability, electronics that became global standards, design rooted in simplicity, quality, and care. Even under pressure, people took pride in doing things right. And beyond work, there is beauty. Seasonal festivals, cherry blossoms, quiet streets at night, small acts of respect that shape daily life. A culture that values harmony, patience, and attention to detail. In recent years, change has begun. Younger generations are questioning old expectations. Work hour limits are slowly expanding. Mental health is being talked about more openly. The idea that rest has value is no longer taboo. Japan rebuilt itself through discipline and sacrifice, and that same discipline may be what allows it to grow beyond excess. Because success does not only mean endurance, it can also mean balance. And Japan is still learning what that future looks like.